pula. Okay, alright, sorry. Puan Rahayu record saya punya sesi ni? Okay, record. Okay, maybe sebelum saya start kita punya kelas, saya perkenalkan diri saya dulu. Nama saya Muhammad Rafi bin Omar. Saya merupakan graduate daripada Universiti Teknikal Malaysia Melaka juga. And then sebelum ni saya pergi ke industri ataupun kilang, kerja dulu dalam 3 ke 4 tahun di industri, and then baru saya datang balik ke UTM sebagai pengajar. So saya bawa sedikit pengajaran daripada industri. Saya dapat knowledge, pengalaman untuk dikongsikan kepada adik-adik mahasiswa di UTM supaya kita nampak lebih jelas apa keperluan industri itu. Okay, so kita boleh start lah. Saya start share. Mungkin sekejap lagi saya punya slide maybe need two-way communication. Maybe sometimes I use in English, but sometimes in bahasa Malaysia. But hopefully you all can understand. Maybe saya panggil Irfan Sugiarto. Irfan Sugiarto.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand what I try to tell you? Because we have different little bit language between Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay, faham Irfan?
InsyaAllah faham, insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah faham. I need two-way communication during this session. Alright?
Yes, sir.
Saya share screen first. Saya share my desktop lah.
Ya, kepada yang tidak bermasalah dengan internet, monggo silahkan bisa on cam ya, supaya nanti Mr. Muhammad Rafi juga bisa melihat ekspresi kalian gitu.
Because we need tengok communication bagaimana di Yogyakarta University ni.
Yeah, because actually most of the students not staying in Yogyakarta now. Yeah, because it's in this pandemic area, they are coming back to their hometown, and some of them have trouble in internet, so sometimes they don't want to turn on the camera because of the internet connection.
Same problem with our university, same lah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, please, Mr. Rafi.
Okay. For today, Assalamualaikum dan selamat tengah hari. Untuk hari ini saya akan sharekan berkenaan dengan additive manufacturing. We call this actually module exchange from Universiti Teknikal Malaysia Melaka and Institute Science Technology Archive Yogyakarta. And then this one actually for subject manufacturing technology, and then prepared by me, Muhammad Rafi bin Omar. Okay, before we start, maybe I need to ask you all some question. What you know about the additive manufacturing? Nowadays you can see a lot put the product is from the additive manufacturing. Okay, before that, maybe we need to know the definition of additive manufacturing. Okay, additive manufacturing also know the 3D printing, rapid prototyping, or preform fabrication. It the process join material to make object from 3D model data, usually layer by layer, observed by subtractive manufacturing methodology such as a machining. That means when you talk about manufacturing, not only you think about the 3D printing only, but the machining process also will call as additive manufacturing. You can see this as subtractive manufacturing also group in additive manufacturing. That means actually have two definition of additive manufacturing. Maybe before that your lecturer already mentioned about the rapid prototype. Maybe after that I will ask you what the meaning of the rapid prototype. Okay, Madya Setiawan. Mardi Setiawan. Okay, I very familiar to communicate to two-way communication. Madya.
Ya.
Okay. Before sebelum ni awak pernah menggunakan 3D printer tak? Ada pernah tengok? Pernah tengok?
Ya.
Pernah tengok lihat jenis apa yang awak pernah lihat?
Ya, pernah.
Jenis apa? Pernah guna?
Belum.
Belum pernah guna. Okay. that's a good lah. You already get the exposure on 3D printer, but however, you cannot feel how to use a 3D printer. At the end this class, you'll be able to differentiate between the type of 3D printer. At least, Mr. Puan Rahayu, saya tak berani jambi. At least, at least. Okay, for example, the left side, this one actually my student for final year project, lot do 3D printing product, join the competition. This actually the product made for the bone fracture to support arm. This product actually made from the 3D printer. Which type 3D printer? Maybe at the end this class, you'll be able to identify which type 3D printer my student use. Okay, all right. Okay, next, the important thing before you go deep in 3D printer, okay, you need to know the definition. Okay, as Puan Rohayu said before that, the rapid prototyping is different from additive manufacturing. However, it in the same group. All right, it is the same group. You know. Okay, additive manufacturing. What is meaning additive manufacturing? Additive manufacturing refer to the technology we create object through sequential layer by layer. That means you print, when you print, we have a process. First layer will join the second layer, third layer. That means we call additive manufacturing. Rapid prototyping is a group, a technique used quick fabrication as a skill model, you need to know skill model, physical part assembly using a CAD data, a CAD software. Maybe I call apa sekejap saya nak panggil nama. Hendrix Saputra. Hendrix ada? Hendrix Saputra. Enric, sebelum ni awak pernah menggunakan software CAD tak? Maksud dia seperti Katia ke, SolidWorks ke, ada belajar semester sebelum ni?
Ya, pernah.
Pernah, okay. So that is one of the part one of device to use to create the rapid prototype. You lukis dalam tu and then you generate using a rapid prototype. And then one more thing you need to know, subtractive process that remove a material by method such as cutting and drilling. This one we call that using a CMM machine. For example, we want to cut a machine, use a machining, and then okay, this also same flow as a 3D printer flow. How to make a part? Okay, I will share you later. Okay, and then we know also SLA. SLA is a 3D object. This one SLA we call also one of the type 3D printer. Okay, this figure is important for you. Maybe to differentiate between two parts, between the additive manufacturing and subtractive manufacturing. Okay, additive manufacturing refer you have a raw material such as a plastic, for example, you use FDM, fuels deposition modeling machine 3D printer. You have a plastic and then you put the part into the 3D printer and then we create. And then we have also weight because this 3D printer will make the part and will make a support. The support we need to remove during the part ready finishing, you need to remove the support. Okay, different for the subtractive, you have a one solid block. From that solid block, the machining process will machine to create shape. For example, you made some. For example, I give you the solid part. From the solid part material, and then we machining, we get the shape, and then we also have the waste. So at the end this slide, you'll be able to identify what is a meaning additive manufacturing, what meaning a subtractive manufacturing. Okay, maybe saya repeat balik dalam bahasa Melayu. Okay, for example, untuk contohnya, kita buat 3D printer, kita ada satu filament plastik and then filament tu akan dicairkan, akan bentukkan part. And then dia ada juga support. Support tu untuk kita patahkan dan buangkan dia. Okay, for example untuk machining ataupun subtractive, kita ada satu blok. Daripada satu blok kita akan machine dia untuk shape yang kita perlukan. And then kita akan buangkan dia punya waste ataupun bahan yang tidak diperlukan seperti hole yang di sini saya tunjuk. Okay. Okay, sekejap lagi saya akan demo you all how to structure 3 dimension. From the CAD data, how you want to transfer to the 3D printer or additive manufacturing 3D printer. So I will demo you straight. Maybe I share with Katya one software. Okay, for example, we have one part. Okay, you all can see my screen, my desktop. Hello, you all can see my
Yes.
desktop.
Yes, we
Okay,
can see.
okay, if you have any question, you can direct ask me. More easy to share with you all. Okay. Okay, now I open data from the Katya. For example, I have one part. Okay, this one I already modeling in Katya. And then how you want to convert this file into 3D printer file. Okay, first step, any kind of software you use. For example, you use Katya or SolidWorks. Okay, you already finished modeling your part. For example, this one we call drone. Drone, do you know drone? Okay, ini adalah drone, tempat mounting motor drone. Okay, and then, okay, how you want to convert? First step, what you need to do is to save as. Okay, this part you just go to file and then save as. Okay, basically, normally the 3D printer software able to read data as the STL file. You change to STL file. Okay. Okay, you change to STL file and then you save as. Okay, and then next step, what you need to do, you need to open the 3D printer software. For example, for today, I use a very cheaper printer software. This actually you can buy at your home because the price printer in the Malaysia around 800 ringgit until 1,100. Okay, very cheaper one. For example, for today we use a Cura 3D printer. You also able to download if you have a 3D printer. You don't have 3D printer, you also able to download the software because this software is free software. And then you need to insert back your, for example, this one, Mounting Moto 3, insert into this software to convert the G code. For example, the stage from the stage, first you have modeling, save as STL. And then the second step you need to do is to slicing, to estimate how many material you need to print one part. For example, this part. Okay, we are also able to setting the quality of the printer. Actually, this printer also same like paper printer lah. When you see the printer paper, you can choose a color type. You can choose very detailed. If the detail printing, we need more hour lah, compare with the rough printing. For example, this software, you're able to resize the part. For example, I need to resize the part until 200%. For example, 200. Okay, bigger. And then you also can choose. Okay, for example, by default, ready setup. We use infill. Infill, that means the printer spacing between each field. For example, for this one, we use a 30%. Okay, and then I click slicing. For example, this one, click slicing, and then you can get the result. How many hours we take to print this part? Okay, how many hours? Okay, for example, this part I need 1 day, 8 hours, 52 minutes using this Cura Ender printer. 1 day, and then the material need is 298 gram. Okay. For example, if I resize this part, for example, 100, and then I resizing this process to see how many layer we need, how many time we need, and then how many material we need. Okay. When I resize, okay, only 5 hours, 57 minutes. Okay, we can also see the simulation, how this printer will run. Okay, for example, I go to preview and then I go. Okay, for example, this one, okay, this one actually the simulation we can see here, right here, the simulation, the process from the layer 1 until layer 250 to finish this product. Okay, you can see inside this side, inside this part not solid, but it create a triangle shape. You see triangle shape. This one we call hatching type. When you infill type, for example, infill you want to change a different shape, you can change infill setting. For example, which type you want, you can choose which one you want. Okay. Okay, you understand so far? Maybe any question before I proceed? Next slide. Okay, first step you have from CATIA, and then you have slicing, and then next step you need to transfer the slicing data, the last slicing data using this software. You need to save as. Okay, save file to as, and then this file you need to send to the memory card, and then memory card you will put in 3D printer. Okay, this part you will put in the 3D printer. Okay, any question? If you do not have question, I have a question. Ada soalan apa? Abi Karimi, okay? Abi Karimi? Hello, Abi Karimi? Abi Karimi, boleh saya share? Abi Karimi? Saya panggil ya, boleh ya? Sebelum saya teruskan. Banyak lagi slide ni, saya nak teruskan. Silakan. Abi Karimi ada? Abi Karimi, ada ke tak ada?
Antara
tak-
ada dan tak ada.
Dah tidur lah. Okey. Adinda Putri. Adinda Putri ada?
Yes, sir.
Okey, Adinda Putri, ada apa-apa soalan? Okey. Kalau tak ada, saya tanya awak boleh?
Belum ada pertanyaan.
Okey, saya tanya. Okey, bagaimana cara kita nak tukar file daripada 3D model kepada 3D printer punya file?
Dirubah ke format STL.
Okey, first kita ubah ke STL, and then yang saya demo tadi apa?
Di save, lalu buka bagian aplikasi 3D
Aplikasi,
printing-nya.
okey, aplikasi 3D printing, and then kita buat slicing untuk
Ya.
tahu berapa tinggi.
Ya, lalu
And
bentuk ukurannya sesuai yang diinginkan.
Okay.
Kalau bisa jangan sampai melebihi dari 1 hari. Kurang lebih seperti itu, sir.
Okay, and then kita save as G-code dia ke dalam mesin,
Ya,
baru boleh di print. Okay, so far Adinda apa nama tadi? Saya lupa dah.
Adinda Putri Aprilia, sir.
Adinda Putri ya. Okay, terima kasih.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sama. Okay, next kita boleh tengok contoh. For example, as I demonstrate, we have software printing, but we have a lot type of software printing. You can see in the market, and then depend on the printer type. For example, the most cheaper printer in the world, I think Indonesia also same. We have Ender type, this type, the cheaper printer, and then the software also easy to use. When you do not have familiar this software, also you know how you need to convert the file, because this software very simple software. Okay. All right, next. Okay, this one. Okay, for example, okay, next. Maybe dalam slide saya share dekat Puan Rohayu, tak ada benda ni, saya baru tambah. Actually, the printer part or solid part, you can download direct for internet. For example, you have a special project, you can download from internet. However, this one actually the sharing community software data. Okay, for example, saya tekan for example, saya buka website ini, awak boleh tengok dia punya sharing apa saja ada di dalam website ini. Saya share contoh, kita nak kaki palsu. Okay, for example, bahasa Inggeris lah. Dia kena tengok, kita tengok. Leg, for example, leg kita cari kaki palsu. Okay, you have able to download on this software and then you can directly print. You go to the, you can download as STL file and then you can print. Okay, very easy because we have a lot website as a sharing point, community 3D printing sharing point. For example, if you want face shield, because during the COVID pandemic, a lot of designer familiar to download this kind of face shield. Okay, right. This one also you can download in website. Okay. Okay, and then you can see here the application of 3D printer. For example, we have for the medical, for at the left side, this one actually our team from university, my team lah for university, to make better life for the disabled children. Okay, we have, because these children do not have finger. I will share you later. Okay, after this, maybe I have detail about this. I will share you. Okay, and then we also can see the 3D printer also we use for the food industry, for the this one for game and entertainment, DIY, for agriculture, defense part, and fashion. Fashion, for example, these shoes have shoe design. Is design very architecture design, futuristic design. Okay, also for the children we have a 3D pen to make drawing, 3D drawing from the basic pen. Okay. Okay, this one I just share to you the most common used 3D printer in the market nowadays. Okay. For example, we have first FDM. Maybe after this, I share with you the video from the UTM Labs, not from internet, but from the UTM Lab. I will show you after this. Okay, and then we have SLA 3D printer, DLP 3D printer, and SLS. SLS in the Malaysia, we have at the UTM, one of the SLS machine at the UTM lah. This one very bigger one. All right. Okay, you can see the process. Maybe you can read. Okay, the field deformation FDM, heating filament nozzle, and then print layer by layer. After this, maybe you see the video, you more understand lah. Okay, and then we have SLA. SLA same like SLS, using a laser as the melting melting agent to the resin and the powder base. Okay. Okay, this one the most popular 3D printer, most popular because the price very cheap. Okay, the processing, heating the filament into nozzle, and then the melting filament will put into layer produced into the platform. Okay, advantage, this very cheap as I mentioned before, easy to change material, cost effective. Fundamental thickness is 0.1, thicks very 0.1 lah minimum. Disadvantage, the seam between layer visible. You can see the seam, maksud dia contoh dia punya part, kita akan nampak garis-garis seperti yang awak tengok ni, line, maksud seam. Join each layer tu kita nampak line. Okay, and then we also need to put the support. Okay, support maksud dia surface dia tak berapa cantik, awak akan nampak kat dalam dia sebab dia ada support dia. Macam contoh sini, surface dia akan kasar sebab dia ada support. Kita perlukan remove support structure. Okay. Okay, we call dia FDM. FDM is Adaptive Manufacturing Technology, common use for modeling, prototype, and produce application. But actually, this printer only the product as a prototype only. Okay, and then the model of the part very small bit material layer by layer. The thermoplastic filament. Okay, when we talk about thermoplastic, that means the material when you already printed, you can crusher back the part. For example, I need to crusher ataupun saya untuk hancurkan balik part ini, and then saya nak buatkan filament balik, boleh. 3D printer ni boleh. Okay. Hello, testing. Hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing.
Yeah, still okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, boleh dengar suara daripada komputer sekejap saya try. Ni boleh?
No,
Sekejap,
we
saya
cannot.
cannot hear.
Tak dengar.
Tak dengar. Kalau tak dengar, saya kena cakap lah. Sekejap. Saya tengok sound system. Okay. We call FDM 3D printer.
We can hear the YouTube, but we cannot hear your voice.
Position 3D printer. This 3D printer use a filament 1.75 filament. That filament will melt using extruder, will melt the filament, and then the filament will print using the coordinate as a G-code already generate using Cura software. Here we can see the process, the part we going before we start the create the part. Maybe the printer will create the support. Okay, here you also can see the temperature for the extruder is 200 due to melting point for this material PLA, and then platform also will heat until 60 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then this part will take how many hours to take this part? Around 1 hour, 2 hours, because this one is a bigger part. This part actually is very good because we can check the accuracy of the printer, because this part we create the circle, that is spot ring. From that we can see the printer is okay or not. If not okay, maybe we can type the belting system in the printer, such as at the X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis. Okay, that's all from this printer. Okay, this Ultimaker 3D printer. This 3D printer actually have two material you can insert. The material type is filament. Around the diameter, extrude diameter for this printer is 0.4. You can see very smooth surface can produce using this 3D printer. Ultimaker is good because you can make two material in this printing part. This one is example, the part already printed, because the surface very smooth compared with other type 3D printer. Okay, you can see, for example, we have print one part, need 48 minutes 50 seconds to finish this part. You can see very smooth space this printer print. Okay, this one is one of FDM 3D printer. The 3D printer name is FlashForce Pro 3D printer. This 3D printer also be able to use two material in same time. Okay, right now you can see the printer was create a platform to print one of the part. We print the architecture part. Okay. Okay, we can see the part producing by this printer, very smooth surface, like 3D printing Ultimaker also same, because this 3D printer is quite good, because the price around 4K for ringgit printer. Here you can see
the printing process, the material will insert to extruder, and then extruder will melting at the platform. Also, the temperature will set around 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, this one the printing process. You can see we have two extruder, left and right, but nowadays we use only one type of material. We put in the left side the extruder number 1. So you can see now the platform will create the support.
Okay, so ada apa-apa soalan berkenaan video saya share? Hello? Hello? Ada apa-apa
Halo.
soalan? Hello?
Halo.
Apa-apa soalan? Kalau tak ada, saya tanya soalan. Okey. Okey ke tak? Saya nak tengok kefahaman pelajar daripada Yogyakarta Institute. Kita tengok. Okay, saya tanya soalan saya panggil soalan saya panggil ni. Panggil participant. Okey, siapa kita nak panggil kali ni? Aziz Zuhidi. Ada Aziz Zuhidi? Aziz? Ada Aziz? Kalau tak ada, Aziz ada? Sebelum saya pergi ke next slide.
Mungkin yang lain.
Yang
Mr.
lain
Raffi,
Aziz tak
panggil
ada.
yang lain.
Okey, Dwi Sri Widodo. Boleh, Dwi Sri Widodo. Mungkin saya salah pronounce, tolong betulkan. Saya takut salah. Boleh? Dwi Sri Widodo ada? Kalau tak ada, kita panggil Harry Setiawan. Ada Harry Setiawan. Semua takutlah saya panggil. Setiawan ada. Tak apa, saya nak share saja. Knowledge ni saya nak share je. Mungkin ada yang tak faham, dia tanya.
Okay, sedikit cerita Mr. Raffi. Actually, we have this 3D printing in our lab.
Okay,
But maybe for the student coming to this lecture, it's not familiar yet because since pandemic we cannot go to laboratory directly.
Okay, pandemic
So,
lah, pandemic.
Yeah,
due to
so
the
so
pandemic.
they use the practicum like online. So
Online.
they never like touch or see directly the 3D printing. Actually, we have two machine this
Two
FDM.
machine,
Yeah.
Because this at UTM we have I already show you, maybe have 3 in the lab because this one lab, maybe other lab we have another type, a lot type. Maybe we give to the student exposed to use the basic how to print. Maybe during the subject CAD drawing, student also able to use this kind of 3D printer.
Yeah,
So this
before
one-
the pandemic, actually the student also can use freely because
Yeah.
before this process manufacture, we have a gambar teknik lah, engineering drawing.
Okay.
We use for engineering drawing as a basic to make the 3D 3D image, and then
Okay.
in the next semester we will have this process manufacture, and then they will go to the laboratory to directly trying the FDM.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Bukan for actually untuk kita punya course, kita akan bagi student pakai yang most famous yang tak ada dekat sini. Kita pakai SLS, Selective Laser Sintering lah. Yang FDM ni untuk pelajar-pelajar buat final year project banyak.
Oke. Ya, ada
Warwai-
pertanyaan? Silakan.
ada
Ini
pertanyaan.
kesempatan besar untuk belajar tentang 3D printing yang mungkin kalian masih sangat asing. Atau mungkin lanjut dulu, Mister, nanti mungkin akan ada pertanyaan ketika mereka melihat tipe yang lain.
Oke.
Ya.
Oke, alright. Kita lanjut dulu lah. Alright. Okay, next we can see in this slide is stylolithography 3D printing. This 3D printing is photonic chemical action, bending structure, victorization, extreme cost line. Actually, this 3D printer made a part from the liquid. The liquid will harden using the laser beam power. Laser will melting that part and then will harden that part lah after melting with the temperature we give. For example, the plastic part around 180 until 190 for the resin for the plastic as for example PLA or ABS, depend on the part lah. Okay, but this advantage of this printer, the high resolution and then short working time. The time is short compare the number one printer. For example, I want to make very simple part as a drone mounting motor. We need 1 day 30 minutes something lah. But for this printer, maybe we get half hour compare with FDM 3D printer. Okay, this advantage, the material for this printer is expensive, lack of the smooth and limit for mechanical strength. But the strength for this material is very resin will melting and then we had for that part. Okay, for that part, and then also we can see here, I will show you the video more easy to understand how working concept for SLA 3D printing. Okay. Yeah, I turn on, maybe wait, I stop first. Okay, you can see this 3D printer is different from number one. Number one is filament based. The filament will melting, but this one, the resin will melting and then we harden with the surrounding temperature. Okay, but when you put the printer in the aircon, the result, the quality is different with the, you put the printer at the room temperature space. Also, the better place you need to put the printer without aircon place lah, because not the temperature is stable lah. Okay. Okay. Wait, I choose.
We asked ourselves, how could we create the most powerful, most reliable 3D printer designed for the desktop? Introducing the Form 2 high-resolution 3D printer. It starts at the heart of the machine, the optical engine. A high-powered laser is guided by custom galvanometers, creating each layer with exceptional detail. A sliding peel mechanism gently removes the part from the print bed, while a wiper glides across the optical window. A responsive heating system warms the resin to a consistent temperature. This creates a reliable print process, producing beautiful parts without sacrificing speed. It features a 40% larger build volume and a new smart resin system that automatically refills the tank when levels are low. To make printing simple, we've added wireless connectivity and a touchscreen display. Now you can upload over Wi-Fi, manage your queue, and receive notifications when your print's complete. All this has been designed to work together with our world-class software and cutting-edge materials to deliver professional results. The Form 2, the most advanced desktop 3D printer ever created.
Okay. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Halo.
Okay, dengar. Okay, dengar. Okay.
Dengar.
Okay, next we proceed with, okay, we have actually have three most common use. First FDM, second SLA, because the SLA is expensive price. The price for the printer is 2,000, 20,000, 24,100 ringgit Malaysia for one printer for this type of 3D printer. Because this one, the material, you can see transparent material. Okay, next, maybe we can see the one case study 3D printer created by my team partner from UTEM to make a 3D printer product make a better life for disabled person. Okay, for example, this case study, you can see, okay, this one actually we have Adik Umaira. This Adik do not have a finger, disabled from the born, okay, do not have a finger. We try to solve their problem. You can see here, right here. We can solve the problem to make a better life with the prosthetic leg hand. Actually, this prosthetic leg hand, you able to download as I given link from TeamVisual website or another. You can download and then you can help the community do not have a finger something. Okay, and then you can see here at the newspaper. Okay, next we can see the process how we make this product. Okay, first we have consult with university doctor to get to see whether this material printer is good for skin or not, but do not have effect for the skin. And then we bring Adik Umaira to University of Technical Malaysia Melaka, and then we make a 3D scanner and scan. And then I also, as a team, as a designer, I design prosthetic leg. Okay, such as I show here. We have made two. One I give to Adik Umaira, one say simple for my, okay. And then we have made a simulation whether this prosthetic leg function or not. And then we print using 3D printer selective laser sintering. Maybe I can show you the video, the simple video, 1 minute only. Okay, okay. I show you video. Boleh saya buka video Ada nak take file ke apa? Boleh? Ada nak take file apa? Okay, lepas video ni kita take file, kita ambil 5 minit rehat. Okay, saya tunjuk dulu. Saya semua daripada YouTube
Tangan biomekanik lazimnya kita lihat dalam filem cerita. Realitinya biarpun tidak boleh berfungsi 100% seperti tangan asal, tangan biomekanik mampu menjalankan aktiviti ringkas yang berupaya membantu kehidupan seharian golongan yang memerlukan. Khairunisa Umairah Muhammad Sabri, pelajar tahun 2 Sekolah Rendah Islam Anuria Adinia, Sungai Udang Melaka yang cacat jari sejak lahir adalah penerimanya. Istimewanya tangan biomekanik yang diterima mampu berfungsi seperti menggenggam, mengangkat, menekan, memicit dan mencengkap. Reka bentuk itu membabitkan pengaplikasian teknologi terkini dari Universiti Teknikal Malaysia Melaka, UTEM.
Prinsip kedalian ni, kanak-kanak itu akan memakai tangan ini, akan disarungkan
ke bahagian ini dan disarungkan. Selepas disarungkan, kanak-kanak tu apabila dia bergerak pergelangan tangan dan tangan itu akan menggenggam. Memegang untuk jadi kanak-kanak itu mampu memegang sesuatu benda.
Tambahnya, produk inovasi ini direka khusus buat golongan yang mengalami kecacatan jari bagi memudahkan mereka menjalani kehidupan seharian lebih sempurna. Pihaknya kini sedang mengkaji untuk mempelbagaikan saiz tangan biomekanik cetakan 3D selain mahu menggunakan bahan fiber kerana kosnya jauh lebih murah.
Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3, dengar tak?
Dengar Ustaz.
Okey, mungkin kita boleh rehat 10 minit boleh? Pukul 3 kita start balik. Bagi saya 10 minit boleh. 8, 5. 10 minutes lah. Rest for 10 minutes. Boleh Puan Rohayu?
Ya, silakan bisa.
Boleh kan? Kita sambung pukul 3. Bagi saya 10 minit. Pasal kita ada lagi 10 slide. Di slide actually quite detail lah. Macam mana kita kira. Okay?
Ya.
Maybe saya bagi 10 minit dulu. Saya tutup kamera dulu. Okay.
Katanya disebabkan oleh filamennya. Filamennya itu udah, kalau bahasa Indonesianya itu udah apa ya?
Expired.
Aku itu agak udah rapuh gitu, Mister. Nah, kalau filamennya, ya. Nah, kalau misal sudah seperti itu, apakah masih bisa digunakan atau nggak bisa, Mister?
Kita sebenarnya boleh bawa keluar semula filamen yang brittle tu, and then kita potong lebih kurang 10 ke 20 mm, and then kita cuba semula. Kalau dia masih rapuh, tidak boleh lagi, kena beli barulah filamen. Sebab ada cara simpan. Filamen tak boleh simpan secara terbuka. Bila terbuka, dia dah kena dengan surrounding temperature, dia akan jadi rapuh. Seperti, siapa cakap tadi dengan saya? Apa yang bercakap?
Raffi, Mister.
Jadi itu kena simpan. Storage tu sangat penting untuk filamen tu. So kita boleh awak potong sedikit. Ni saya potong filamen. Dia rapuh sebab storage dia tak betul. Okay, for example kalau kita baru beli filamen, dia mesti kedap udara macam ni. So storage dia kita kena ada special storage bag. Bila ada storage bag yang special, material dia tak akan masuk angin lah, tak akan jadi rapuh. Bila kita dah buka ni, kita kena simpan dalam special bag. Kalau nak awak ambil sikit, buka panjang sikit, tempat yang rapuh semua, potong buang dulu. Dipotong-potong dan buang, and then kita try masuk filamen yang dekat ujung. For example, kita remove dalam 30 mm ke, yang ke 40 mm tu baru kita pakai. Faham
Paham, Mister. Berarti dari cara penyimpanannya juga mempengaruhi kualitas filamen itu sendiri ya, Mister?
Ya, betul. Betul. Kualiti penyimpanan dia selepas buka. Kalau baru, dia okey. Macam tadi saya buka baru kan dalam plastik. Okey, tak ada apa, no problem.
Terima kasih, Mister.
Okey, sama-sama. Mungkin kita boleh teruskan lah. Saya share screen. Share screen. Okay, next. Okay, this case study actually you all already go through my video. The process how to make better life for the disabled person. This one of the real case study made from UTEM. Okay. Okay, next we go to the specific 3D printer because I think you all not familiar with this 3D printer because at the UTEM we have this kind of facility. We have a very bigger 3D printer for industry 3D printer. We call that 3D printer is selective laser sintering 3D printer. Maybe I do not go deep in this chapter. I just give you roughly briefing untuk awak tahu saja, dekat awak tahu saja. Because for my class, maybe I go deep because relate to final exam this question. Okay. Okay, this 3D printer actually we call selective laser sintering is additive manufacturing technology for 3D printer for melting. Okay, before that maybe you can see the filament type, but this printer use a material powder base. That means the powder size for this printer around 50 until 80 micron. Very small particle powder. You can, okay, that powder name is a polyimide 12 or nylon. Okay. Okay, this printer also we use a gas, nitrogen gas to prevent the powder oxidize or degrading, as Rafi Irwan said, ask me question, but to make sure the powder do not degrade or masuk angin lah, seperti yang tadi kita tengok, we need have a special kind gas, we call nitrogen, okay, which emit special air to handle this equipment. Okay, you can see at the right side is actually the diagram for the inside of the 3D printer. We have a 3 chamber. First we call feeder, that means the tempat kita masukkan raw material, and then we have a build chamber, and then we have a powder collector, and then we also have a overflow chamber. Okay, the concept same, layer by layer. Okay, powder kita akan masukkan di dalam feeder chamber. Powder kita akan masukkan di sini, and then feeder chamber akan lift up ataupun lift up. For example, we give input into the machine is 0.6 mm layer thickness. Okay, the feeder will move to the 0.6, and then the roller will roll the material to the build chamber. Okay, in the build chamber, the direction for build chamber we go down 0.06. Okay, and then the laser will sintering the material, the polyimide material, and then we harden lah. Okay, the process. This is the basic process. Maybe easy you can see in my video. Okay, video ni saya tunjukkan pelajar kelas saya tahun 2. Selepas dia belajar AutoCAD Katia, diorang also diberi pendedahan berkenaan dengan proses menggunakan 3D printer ini. Mungkin kita tengok pelajar ni buat, dia ada 3 main process. Okay, sebelum kita tengok video, maybe kita tengok. Okay, ni saya tak cerita. Dia untuk buat complex shape, kita menggunakan powder, and then kita gunakan laser power lah. Alright. Okay, this one the selective laser sintering flow. Okay, for example, untuk this kind of 3D printer, we need to mix between the new material and recycle. That means, okay, what the meaning a recycled material? Recycled material, the material do not harden in the build chamber. We call recycled material, but the material already get the laser beam power. But reheat material is a material from the overflow. Okay, overflow chamber. Can see here. Okay, from this chamber, because this material do not get the laser beam power. Laser beam power lah. Okay. Okay, and then you can see, and then we have a nitrogen to generate. Okay, input STL file. Same before I teach you in using Cura software. This machine also have their own software. We call Buildstar, because this machine made from China, and then we need to make arrangement, and then we need to put the data into the machine, and then from there we need to take out the part from the machine and to cleaning part, and then the part will separate between the part and recycled material. All right, the working concept you can see as a diagram I showed before. Maybe we can proceed. Okay, because this printer very special printer, we can print very big part in the 3D printer category. That is 400 mm times 400 times 400. is bigger lah in the 3D printer category. Basically, the 3D printer size for FDF around 220 something time height, maybe 180 only, because this machine is industry machine. Okay, maybe we can go to the process. Okay. Lepas video ni saya nak ada soalan ni. Saya tengok lepas video ni ada soalan ni. Saya harap ada soalan ni. Okay, saya tukar mode kepada suara video Boleh Ini mungkin yang terakhir, mungkin lagi 10 minit habis. Okay? Boleh Boleh
Okay, sir.
Kalau bosan cakap, tanya saja, tak ada apa, jangan malu, tak ada masalah. Okay. Okay, so ada apa-apa soalan? Ada apa-apa soalan ni tak ada? Hello?
Mungkin belum, Mister.
Belum nampak ni proses dia. First, kita kena campurkan antara 3 material. Seperti yang saya cakap, material yang sama, plastik yang sama, nylon PF12, but we need to mix. Apa efek dia sekiranya kita tak campur? Dia punya kualiti daripada segi kekuatan semua, dia tak berapa kuat. Okay, first kita kena mix and then put in mixing chamber. Lepas kita mix, kita kena masuk dalam SSS 3D printer, yang ini kita panggil feeder chamber. And then kita masukkan data. Okay, this one actually from number apa? Ya, saya tunjuk. G sehingga J ni ialah proses untuk kita keluarkan. Ini part yang kita dah keluarkan seperti sebagai kita panggil cake, break cake. Kita nak pecahkan cake. And then outside the part yang tak jadi ni, material ni boleh di recycle semula. Okay, and then last kali baru kita nampak the part yang telah diproduksikan, yang telah diproducekan. Okay, nampak clear? Okay, so awak boleh tengoklah proses dia sebenarnya kena campur. This we call what is a virgin. Virgin refer to a new material manufactured by manufacturer. Reheat material heat in the powder feeder but never exposed in laser beam. Maksud dia powder tu dia pergi dekat workflow semasa leveling process. And then last one we call recycled powder is unsintering material exposed to laser beam. Okay, yang powder ni lah kita panggil, yang dalam kek ni kita panggil sebagai recycled material. This material will separate using sieve machine. Ini kita panggil mesin pengayak. Dia ada bergegar, dia akan ayakkan, bezakan antara part dan juga material yang belum di print. And then material yang telah ditapis. And then kita simpankan dalam storage untuk kita gunakan next. Okay, ini adalah pre-process as I ready bagi tahu. First kita kena estimate berapa powder diperlukan. And then ni printing process macam saya brief tadi, simple. Okay, ni proses kita pecahkan kek ni nampak kek ni kita pecahkan. And then saya bawa keluarkan part. Yang lebih ni akan jadi recycle material. That means the material able to print balik lah. Okay, build chamber. Okay, feeder chamber ini adalah size dia. Ini build chamber. Calculation ni saya kena tanya Puan Rohayu. Puan Rohayu ada? Puan Rohayu.
Yes, sir.
Yang ini perlu saya ajar tak? Ataupun dah cukup? Untuk
About
volume.
SLS.
Ya, betul. Ini tapi dia more deep lah. Ini macam mana kita nak kira.
Actually, we don't study that specific yet because rapid prototyping is like only introduction for them. Yeah.
Because my course we have a deep in this machine because we have
sure,
this
sir.
kind of facility, so we try to maximize to use this kind. Okay, maybe we proceed with the additive manufacturing benefit and limitation before we end our class. Okay, first the benefit of AM ataupun additive manufacturing, the cost of the become more affordable. It easy to change and revise version of the product. It reduce waste production, save energy cost, reduce waste production, versatile use, less interrupt during the machining process. The limit the part size, maybe cannot fabricate bigger part if it depend on the printer volume capacity, and then the product size also limit. The part design actually is more better compare injection molding, where injection molding we need to think a lot of parameter when we design using injection molding. But for the 3D printer, we no need because we can print complex shape. No need to think about the draft angle, about the tooling direction, something, because easy. But for when you compare the 3D printer and plastic injection molding, actually for the large scala manufacturing, maybe better is for plastic injection mold, but for the certain case, such as I give case study before that, we need to use a 3D printer because the volume very small, we need the high accuracy, depend on the application actually. Okay, the limit. And then the material properties also limit, but however, nowadays 3D printer also have a metal 3D printer, plastic 3D printer. We can use a variant type of material nowadays. Okay, market perspective. For example, in aerospace already used, but not many part, but some of part. In medical, as I show before, we have implant surgery, dental application. In tooling, practical for plastic processing, automotive and transportation also have, and then consumer good. Okay, at the summary, okay, this one. Okay, that's all for me. Any question? Maybe before we close this session, any question? I
Tak
think
ada,
my
sir.
kena ada lah soalan. Ni two-way communication. Ada soalan apa-apa? At the
Saya
end,
mau tanya, Sir.
okay, silakan. Bagi nama, saya nak tengok sikit, kita buat discussion sikit. Sekejap. Macam mana saya nak short. Okay.
Immanuel.
Buka gambar sikit, Immanuel, silakan.
Oke, Sir, oke. Wait.
Okay, silakan. Tak ada masalah. Kita sharing session.
Saya mau tanya mengenai cara kerja dari 3D printing menggunakan laser. Saya kurang paham tadi, Sir.
Okay. Bagus. Itu saya suka. Saya share slide sikit boleh? Saya share slide. Slide ya, saya share sekejap Bagus. Sebab mungkin saya laju sangat, you dah ni. Okay, sekejap. Okay, saya cerita simple Okay, you boleh tengok. Okay, kita letakkan powder dekat powder feeder. And then powder akan naik ke atas. Okay, feeder ni akan tolak ke atas. Lift ke atas. Dia akan tolak ke sini. And then laser akan tembak. Contoh, kita setkan 0.1. Okay, dia akan jalan. Roller akan tolak. Dia akan stop di sini. Bila dia stop tu, and then laser akan tembak. Sekejap saya tunjuk satu video. Satu video ni daripada komputer saya. Sekejap mungkin awak akan tengok. Dia akan naik ni 1 mm, sini turun 1 mm, and then dia tolak, and then laser akan tembak dia. Kita tengok macam mana laser function. Sekejap Macam mana saya nak stop. Okay, sekejap Immanuel. Kena share screen sekejap Immanuel. Saya kena buka saya punya Telegram sekejap Sorry, Telegram sekejap Kena tunjuk video SLS function Ini grup PSM saya sekejap. Okey ni. Nampak okey, nampak roller akan tolak and then laser akan tembak di atas. Tengok laser tembak. Okay, laser tembak and then dia naikkan lagi feeder tu 1 mm and then dia akan tembak. Inilah working concept. Lepas tu powder akan tutup. Dia tengok Okay, dia akan tutup and then dia tembak lagi layer kedua. Makin ni, nampak. Laser berfungsi, nampak?
Kelihatan, Sir.
Powder tu akan melting. Tetapi di surrounding ni dia tidak akan keras. Keras tempat-tempat yang laser tembak saja. Contoh part ni ialah tensile specimen. Dia akan keras tensile specimen. Yang luar ni kita panggil powder recycle. Dia dah expose dengan laser beam. Okay. Clear ke tak? Imawel, clear ke tak?
Oke, sir. Oke. Thank you.
Nampak kan saya tunjuk video lagi, nampak kan?
Nampak, sir.
Feeder tu dia akan tolak powder tu, dia tembak laser, dia akan tembak nombor 2 punya layer pula. Okay, any question? Ada question? Saya suka question Ada apa-apa soalan? Ada
Sedikit
apa-apa
review.
soalan?
Saya, Sir, mau tanya.
Okay, silakan Puan Rohayu.
Okay, regarding about the material we should use, mana yang application of the materials-nya lebih luas? Between those rapid prototype, mungkin boleh dibagi tahu lah pada student. Mana kemudian yang dia boleh guna macam-macam material, sebab in term of the production, misalnya kita nak buat rapid for production, 3D printing for production, kan kita mungkin butuh banyak variasi material. Guna 3D printing yang mana yang oke?
Okay, basically kalau yang 3D printer, kalau in term of quality, macam okay, yang FDM it's okay, no problem. Boleh pakai material yang selalu pakai FDM ada 2 type, satu ABS, satu PLA. Tetapi PLA dia more brittle compare ABS. Sebab brittle lah, maksud dia macam tadi siapa tanya saya tadi, Putra cakap tanya tadi. Tetapi dekat UTM ni kita akan pakai SLS. SLS dia punya material kita pakai polymer 12 ataupun nylon. Dia lebih kuat dia punya material. And then dia tak ada expired. Dia boleh recycle. Lebih efektif. Tetapi kalau in term of accuracy kita nak, kita kena campurkan antara material virgin ataupun yang baru, kena campur dengan yang lama. Due kepada dia punya structure. Kalau semua baru, dia punya structure masih lemah. Dia akan mengembang. Mengembang lah bahasa Melayu dia. Okey, dah mengecut. Okey, ada apa lagi? Silakan. Saya nak tanyalah Shefina dah. Shefina. Kita kenal dengan lain lah. Shefina ada. Okey, silakan. Okey, Shefina, ada apa-apa yang awak nak tahu? Shefina ada?
Gimana, Sir?
Ada soalan apa-apa berkenaan dengan 3D printer yang awak tidak jelas?
Belum, Sir.
Apa dia? Tak
Belum.
dengar lah. Kuat sikit. Hello? Tak ada Tak ada, saya rasa saya punya sir belum sir. Okey, tiada. Okey. Ada apa-apa lagi Dr. Puan Rohayu? Rugi aku tak tanya, saya boleh share apa based on my experience lah. And
Sir?
then, okay, silakan. Adinda Putri.
Okay, sir, I want to ask a question.
Okay, alright.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask about the 3D machines. As you explained in this presentation, there's are expensive or cheapest types. So what type do you recommend for us as a student if we want to have our own machines?
Okay, I recommend type of 3D printer, very cheap 3D printer. Maybe in Indonesia also cheap. We use FDM. For example, you can Google at the Shopee also. You can get the price around 800 ringgit. You already get the 3D printer. The name of the 3D printer is Ender 3 Pro. For example, okay, I try share with you. Example, maybe I share. I not sell this product because this product is okay if you want to start to play around 3D printer or additive manufacturing. You start buying this type of 3D printer because all part is manual. For example, the part accuracy is not accurate. You can adjust manual the belting system. For example, maybe I share you. Wait, the Google, maybe. Did I share? Okay. For example, you can go to Shopee and then you go and buy. I think same lah, Malaysia and the 3D printer. The price for Malaysia, for example, 600, you also can get the Creality 3D printer DIY, very cheaper price lah. When you convert to currency, Indonesian currency, I think also cheaper price, this kind of 3D printer lah. The material also is okay, depend on you experience to make a quality part, depend on experience. When you already run more than 10 parts, you can know how which parameter you need to adjust to get the high precision quality printing product. Okay? Okay, Putri, okay. Jelas saya punya jawapan.
That's enough. Thank you,
That's
sir.
enough, okay. Alright. Maybe semua turn on camera, kita capture. Aisyah ada soalan? Aisyah saya punya student.
Tak ada, sir, tak ada.
Okay, no. Okay, from Malaysia, Aisyah. Alright.
Aisyah boleh turn on cam supaya kita boleh tengok
Aisyah buka
perkenalan.
kamera, Aisyah. Puan Rohayu nak tengok. Okay, semua kita buka
Boleh,
kamera.
sir, kejap.
Saya share je. Jelas ada apa-apa soalan? Yang lain ada apa-apa? Jelas baru saya tengok semua muka. Walaupun kita jauh jarak, kita boleh communicate sekarang. Ini sebab pandemik COVID kan. Sebelum ni kita pun tidak familiar dengan kaedah ini, betul?
Ini sisi positif dari pandemik ya, sir.
Ni
Mendekatkan
positif
yang
daripada
jauh.
Mendekatkan yang jauh. Aisyah, maybe boleh cakap apa-apa tak ada? Yang lain mana? Saya tak berapa familiar berkenaan dengan Zoom. Kalau Webex, bolehlah. Tapi so far okay lah. Still user friendly. Boleh saya arrange lah, manage.
Most of the university in Indonesia using Zoom, except
You
maybe UGM lah. Gajah Mada University using Webex. Because it's expensive and the connection also have to be fast. So it's quite
very
difficult
fast.
for our students. So we use Zoom.
Tak ada lagi ni apa ni, Anti Nanshi Merdi Setiawan. Buka lah kamera. Parto Ari. Saya sorry kalau salah pronounce nama. Okay. Syefina apa tunjuk bumbung. Okay, saya nak ambil gambar. Ada lagi yang tak buka ni, ramai lagi. Connection Rafi Irwan, mana Rafi Irwan dia nak kenal? Okey, kalau tak ada kita screenshot lah. Okey. Ada cara ni, kita screenshot, kita ni pintulah. Okay, senyum. Saya nak screenshot. Okay. Okay, save. Okay, saya buka saya punya first slide sikit. Okay, sekejap. Ada apa-apa lagi? Yang Puan Rohayu ada apa-apa lagi?
Ada, maybe more than bukan soalan tapi terima kasih karena sudah berbagi pengetahuan yang menambah insight cukup banyak bagi mahasiswa kami karena 3D printing is a very new thing here. So when it comes to 3D printing, they have no a lot information yet. And also because we are industrial engineers, so we don't study like very specific like in UTEM. We just like saw the introduction of this is rapid prototype, this is additive manufacturing, the use is for what, and then the application is like what, just like that. So thank you very much, Mr. Rafi, for joining us today. So we have a lot of insight for our knowledge. Hopefully we can like this session makes the students improve the knowledge and make them want to like study in UTEM more, maybe for their final project, because we don't have the final project we call scriptsy here regarding about the 3D printing yet. It's still only for laboratory activity, only for the 3D printing, tapi belum ada yang ingin untuk research atau final project about 3D printing, seperti itu.
Okey, saya pun mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kerana sudi dengar saya punya sedikit knowledge sharing from UTEM. So hopefully this information you can use in your real life or share with your experience dalam 3D printing ni. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan boleh tanya direct dengan saya. Maybe for next time, maybe Puan Rohayu boleh direct dengan Dr. Ikhwan to make maybe come to Malaysia to visit UTEM also. Okay?
Yeah.
I think that's all from me. Okay, sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Saya tinggal dulu
Ya, oke. Thank you, Mr. Rafi.
Ibu ini udah selesai, Ibu?
Ya udah, kita akhiri kuliahnya ya, sudah presensi ya tadi. Menarik gimana kuliah?
Siap, Bu, menarik banget, Bu.
Ya.
Sama bahasanya.
Ya, menambah wawasan, dan itu memang kalau kamu kuliah di luar negeri itu akan bertemu banyak dosen dengan bahasa yang berbeda. Even kamu nanti pergi ke native country yang itu bahasanya full English, itu akan ketemu banyak profesor atau dokter dari negara yang bukan dari native. Jadi misalnya dia dari Mesir atau dari Jepang gitu. Yang bahasa Inggrisnya juga akan sangat sulit untuk dipahami. Jadi itulah pentingnya kalian masih di semester-semester awal untuk bisa, mudah-mudahan untuk bisa memotivasi ya, untuk bisa belajar bahasa Inggris. Saya dulu juga ngepolke belajar bahasa Inggris itu waktu S1. Jadi waktu S1 saya masih punya banyak waktu untuk diri sendiri, saya polkan untuk belajar improving bahasa Inggris untuk nanti kemudian bisa cari scholarship gitu ya, untuk bisa S2 di luar gitu. Oke. Kalau nggak ada pertanyaan, kita akhiri ya. Terima kasih sudah berpartisipasi. Mudah-mudahan bisa menambah pengetahuan. Besok Kamis itu saya rencananya akan mengajar ke sana karena kita mata kuliahnya kosong. Jadi silahkan join, tapi nanti harus aplikasi baru namanya Webex. Jadi nanti akan saya share linknya untuk Anda bisa coba-coba untuk download. Karena Webex itu sedikit lebih berat dengan Zoom. Jadi lebih mirip ke arah Google Meet, tapi lebih berat lagi gitu. Karena app yang dipakai di sana itu. Tapi nanti akan saya share di grup ya untuk ini linknya. Gitu ya. Terima kasih. Saya akhiri kelasnya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih, Bu.
Ya.
Terima kasih, Bu.
Terima kasih, Bu.